Welcome to Barcelona. Almost 40 years ago, I came to this place to play there at the Camp Nou, and now Marcus Rashford is going to be the next Englishman to do so. I'm going to talk to him, but I thought I'd bring this fella with me.
It's not Barcelona about big meat. Hey, dude.
Nice to see you, man. Marcus, lovely to see you here in Barcelona. Now, I don't know whether you can remember, and I've got a little bit of film. We filmed together about, I don't know, almost 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you took me around the training ground at Manchester United. And we talked, if you have a little listen here, I'll try and play it. When I went to Barcelona, right, Barcelona, the great training ground in those days. It's like this now, obviously. You see the line of that red bit there?
Yeah.
And to here, in a, that was it. On the side of the stadium, that was it.
Like a patch.
Like a patch, and it was that's trained on every day, right by the side of the stadium. It's like,
It's crazy, isn't it?
I won't bore you with all of it. But now you're here.
Yeah.
Now you're here. Who would have thought it? We were talking about Barcelona's training ground. Now you're on the training ground.
Yes.
Not the one I was, which is right by the stadium, and it was a patch, a field. How was it? You settled in?
Yeah. Yeah, it's obviously a new experience for me, but just enjoying it all. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
He's looking lean, isn't he?
He's looking
good. I'm looking at the goodness here. I'm a little bit jealous, guys. I'm not going to lie.
You're going to compete? You're going to get
No,
yours out?
I'm not going to compete.
You get yours out. Talking when you just came through the door about how training's changed, because you were talking about how slim you are and all that, and saying that it's slightly different here than...
Yeah, it's very intense, but it's intense in a different way to English football. It's hard to explain because like pre-season, it's been tough. It's been draining. Like after training, I'm tired and stuff. Obviously, the weather plays a part as well. But it's not tough in the aspect where in England you'd be doing like loads of hard running. It's more like mini games and possession blocks. It's less rest between each exercises.
More on the ball?
Yeah, more on the ball, and it's more like constant training. So in that way, it's more difficult in terms of intensity, but it's easier because you're in rhythm more. It's definitely different, but you know, I'm just looking forward to the season starting really, because you know that's where I'll learn the most, playing against new teams on a more consistent.
Have you got any lingo?
Early days.
No, I'm trying. I've had a couple of lessons. To be fair, I'm gonna get more consistent lessons and just try it that way, because I tried a little bit on like Duolingo and stuff, but it didn't really help.
It's tough, isn't it?
It didn't really help me. Like I done loads of lessons on there, but then when I started my first like proper lesson, it was different.
Having had the experience myself of being here, and it was, I have to say also, it was much easier when I was here, in the sense that practically nobody spoke English, so you kind of had to make do back then. Whereas now, even when I come back now, and I speak Spanish pretty well, if I speak to people, they reply to me in English, which is bloody annoying, because you just want the chance to practice. But I think it's appreciated by the fans if you can say a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's definitely appreciated perhaps in the dressing room as well. They go, oh, he's you know.
But for me as well, it's just part of like the experience of being here.
Yeah.
So like, even if I didn't have to, I'd still want to try and learn at least the basics anyway. Yeah.
I tried Italian. Terrible. Honestly,
I thought you sounded fluent when I was...
No. My Italian is terrible.
How long did you play there?
I was there for just 1 year, and I had lessons and everything, but like the teacher was laughing at me. So when the teacher's, what are you supposed to do when the teacher's laughing at me? I'm trying my hardest. And after like 2-3 weeks, I thought, no, this is not good.
The problem was she was laughing at you while you were playing.
Yeah, true. But it was just amazing to like have a different experience, you know, like going into a new dressing room. Obviously for you being at Man United for so long, then just going in and you just trying to find your way. It's like a new kid at school.
You know what, honestly, I thought it'd be a bit more like daunting, but like it's pretty much seamless. I think when you go over something in your head and you visualize like being somewhere, like you just take everything as it goes really. So, and it was similar to like when I first went to Villa as well. Like you don't really know what to expect, but because it's something that you're looking forward to, it's not like a worry. It's more just like an excitement. So.
Can I ask you, was you nervous though? Because when I went to Fiorentina, I was really nervous. I was pretending like I was fine.
I was nervous as well. Way back. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like nerves or if it's just like excitement. Like when I think of even stuff that I'm going to find difficult, it's more of a challenge and like exciting than it is scary. So I wouldn't say it's like nerve-wracking, but yeah, there is like a part of you that's like, you know, like butterflies in the stomach and stuff like that. But like I said, it's, for me, that's like positive stuff. All the positive things that have happened in my career, I have that feeling anyways. It's almost like when you don't have it, you're a bit comfortable.
Do you think the little spell at Villa helped you to bridge the gap to make a bigger step coming here?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Because you've been in Manchester all
Yeah,
your
for
life.
so long. Yeah, and it's like, no matter where you go from being in a certain place for so long, it's a change. But I feel like the timing of me going to Villa was like now looking back, it was the exact time for me to do something like that. So I feel like the response and the reaction I got from, you know, the people at the club and like the fans, it was probably what I needed on a personal level, like in that moment. But it's crazy because like 6 months on, like I feel like everything's completely different. But without having that right period in the middle, maybe I won't be feeling how I'm feeling now. So yeah, I feel like just everything that happened at Villa, bar the injury at the end, was exactly how it was supposed to be.
It's a good club, Villa, isn't it?
No, 100%. And I was speaking to my brothers about it, and like I remember Villa got relegated from the Prem, and since then,
I think he was playing. He was playing for them.
That was all mine doing. That was.
Marcus, you just knock him across the 6-yard box now. Keep popping him in.
No, but yeah. So since then, the club's been on the up. So when I first went there, the atmosphere at the club's like all positive, and it was just exactly what I needed in that period.
What's the language of the dressing room out here in Barcelona? I just wondered whether, because it used to be Spanish, because people used to say, "Oh, did you speak Catalan or Spanish?" And
no, it's still Spanish. Obviously, a lot of the young lads speak Catalan, but the easy thing for me is a lot of the lads understand English. So like on the pitch, it's just about me picking up on the basics, which I've done quite quickly, to be fair. So
a lot of them would speak English as well.
Yeah. And then there's good like people that are like a bridge. So like Frankie speaks really good English. Jules speaks really good English, and these guys have been here for a few years now, so they speak good Spanish. So on the pitch, it's honestly like easier than what I thought it'd be. But also like football itself is just a language. I know a lot of people say it, but like if you understand each other on the pitch, it's easy to communicate. You get like the general vibe on the pitch. So I've not really had any problems in that way.
I think it's normal when you go to a club, and particularly in the early days when we've moved around, and you normally you find a friend.
Yeah.
Who's your friend here?
To be fair, all of the lads are like, maybe it's because they're all very young, but like...
Do you feel like the old man here? Well,
yeah,
apart from Lewandowski.
No, but you do though, because like you have to think like 27, 28, put it this way, there's more players under 20, under 21 than there is past, 28. So it's like in your whole career, you're probably in like directly in the middle, but in this team, you're one of the experienced lads.
Well, they like these young. I mean, they're so good.
Honestly, it's so like refreshing to be playing with them. But yeah, it's just every day they're full of energy, and it keeps you having energy as well. So no, it's good. Like they're all really talented, but the thing that surprised me the most is like how mature they all are. Like on the pitch, they play the game at like their own tempo. It's
so what, it's like better decision making?
It's just the way that they're developed. It's different. Like in England, you're developed to always show your skill set, whereas sometimes in football, as you know, as you get older, it's not. There's a time and a place to show your skill set. So, for example, if your skill set's dribbling, there's a time and a place to be dribbling on the pitch. Whereas in England and in the academies, like if you're good at dribbling, they just tell you to dribble. Yeah, so that's one of the first things that I've realised, and it's like you look at someone like Pedri, I think he's 22 or 23, and it's like he's actually really, really young, but he's just got that much experience already playing at the, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and playing in some of the biggest games.
Where have you been playing in the pre-season games? So we're doing this just before the start of the season. It's coming out the weekend.
No, just a bit of everywhere really. Yeah. But I've always enjoyed doing that, especially when you play with so many passers in the team. It's like playing on the right wing when you've got so many passes in the midfield and in the back line. It's different because playing on the right wing is probably my more difficult position out of the three. But once you can just assess spaces, and that's kind of the main thing that I'm trying to adapt to now, because I think the way people defend here is obviously different to in England. So you see spaces.
In what way is it different?
Because in England you have to find the spaces so quickly because of the tempo and the rhythm of the game. And I can imagine it's similar here, but if you do find the spaces quickly, you can really hurt teams. And you see that when you play against teams in Europe. But like anywhere, when you play against teams consistently in a league format, it's going to be different. So it's just adjusting to that as quickly as possible. But it's going to be exciting. You know, I'm looking forward to, you know, this new sort of atmosphere and new genre of football. So it'll be good.
What's your favourite position?
My favourite position's off the left. But then it does change throughout.
I know, because I've heard you interview saying he was happy playing up front, but you like left, and then you just said you don't mind.
It also just depends who you're playing with, how consistently other people play in the positions that you receive the ball from as well. So it's difficult to like pin down one position, but honestly, I've been like this since a kid. It's been hard for me to like. It's because I'll say it. I used to love the right wing when I was younger, but then I learned as I got like maybe to 13, 14. Drifting inside, because I'm always controlling the ball on my left. When I'm coming in off the right hand side and now you're controlling off your right, it's more different when I'm trying to accelerate. So it's more natural for me to control on my left and accelerate with my right foot. I can do it more swiftly in one movement. So then I moved over to the left, and then I love playing on the left, but then you miss scoring goals. And then when you are in the middle, you miss touching the ball. So it's just like, you need that. Like for me, when I'm at my best, I'm having that freedom to exploit the back line. For me, from the left is the easiest position for me to do the rotation, because on the left I find it more natural to play off the centre half shoulders and the full back shoulders than I do on the right. But it's all just, it depends game to game.
Well, football's never.
It's never the same. But then some games I'll be on the left, and even if I have a good game, I'll be seeing what's happening on the right, and I'll be like, oh, I wish I was on the right today. So it's one of them. But as long as I'm, you know, helping the team and, you know, trying to find ways to have an influence on the game, then, you know, I'll be happy. And
you'll certainly be playing attacking football, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Hansi Flick's way of playing. I mean, it
high
is a massive high line, and you'll be playing in the oppositions.
Yeah, but it's perfect for the skill sets of the team. You know, there's too much ability to be spending too much of the game in your own half. So, you know, to play the high line, which honestly in the first couple of weeks that I've been at, how good they are at the high line is. Like, everyone looks like they're only just offside, but they're so confident in the system, and for them to only be doing it for 1 year and be that good already is really positive. So it's good, but honestly, I'm still learning it, which I probably will be for a while. But it's attacking football, and that's what I want to be playing.
You seem like you're really, you know, happy with life and the way they play. It must be really exciting. Looking forward to the start of the season.
Honestly, it's just like refreshing. We see how good they were last year, but like the motivation and the determination to just improve, and you know, we know it's going to be tough to have a year like they did last year, winning that many trophies, but that's the aim and that's the objective. So that was one of the first things I noticed my first couple of days there. Like, everyone's pretty much forgotten about last year, and it's about what we can do this year now. So it's the perfect environment to go and be successful.
What are your aims this season?
It's just to win. You know, I want to have obviously a good individual season, but like anyone will tell you, if you have to choose between that and winning, you'd pick winning. So so if I aim to win, the chances are I'm going to have a good individual season as well.
It's going to be tough getting into this team, isn't it? Because
no,
there's so
for
much
sure.
talent.
But this is part of the challenge, you know. And you know, if I wasn't confident that you know, I could do it, then I wouldn't have wanted to come here. So I think just settling in and, you know, giving 100% and keep the mindset of learning, because I think, like, when you come to like a new country, a new brand of football, it's easy to think like whatever we was doing in England's the right way to play football, but things are different here. So I'm enjoying like learning this, and the players are helping me learn you know, the new brand of football.
one criticism from me in your game is I feel like you can be more selfish.
Yeah.
Because you get into great areas, then you always want to pass. I'm like, all the other players in top of world football are shooting.
No, for sure. But it's just, that's how I enjoy football. I've been like this since a kid. Like, don't get me wrong, I love scoring goals and stuff. But, so like, this is why I probably can't consistently be a number 9 because, like, it's not natural for me to do that. So if I am doing that, I feel like I'm forcing it, and I know that I'm missing other pictures of the game. That if I was just playing freely, I'd be seeing these pictures. So there's a lot of times where like I don't shoot because I feel like the chance of it being blocked and missing a chance for the team rather than just for me is pretty high. But then also the striker of him is like, if I can get it through his legs here, if I can get my shot off through his legs, there's a high chance of it going in. Yeah, so it's like finding the balance. But you know, in this generation to consistently play number 9, you have to be selfish because you know you're required now to score 40 goals a season. So you need to be shooting more frequently. It's like I don't put too much pressure on the goal scoring side because I just know like I'm confident that if I'm doing the right things, I'll create chances for others and I'll be in the position to have shots and score goals. Yeah,
just to elaborate on that though, because I think we're now in a era where everyone talks about goals and assists. Yeah. So when you was at Aston Villa, I was raving about you, and we did a FA Cup game, didn't we? And I was saying it's the best I've probably seen him playing for Villa. But at the end of it, then people say, well, he only scored that amount of goals. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But they're not looking. I look at the full game. Yeah. People now
it's because you've played though.
Of course, yes.
So like, I'm a winner at the end of the day, and I want to win. So if the team's won, I can analyse the game and whatever I need to change and adjust to score more goals, I can do that in more of like a seamless way. And that's the way I've always, it's not just in sports, that's the way I learn. Like if I put too much pressure on myself to like, oh, you need to score goals, you need to shoot, I'm not gonna, play well.
Yeah. Have you always been like, I mean, I'll take you back perhaps now to your childhood and where this talent came from. And
yeah, so I was a goalkeeper at first actually.
Was you?
No way.
Yeah, but
I was a goalie.
I got bored in that.
We must be talking what?
At Fletcher Moss.
Fletcher Moss, yeah.
So my first year was in that, but then I think I remember like my brother was telling me I was moaning like everyone's always having fun like scoring goals and stuff. So I wanted to go outfield. I'm always going to be a player that enjoys the intricate things that people might not speak about all the time in football, but like creating space. And people always say like, oh, just running behind. But sometimes running behind, it's like the run's not on. Mm-hmm. So like forwards know it. No, we know it, but like sometimes midfielders, they don't know it. They just say running behind. Sometimes the timing and the space, it doesn't connect. So there's no point running them behind because it doesn't affect the back line. That's what I want to do from a run. If your timing's off and if there's no eye contact between the person on the ball and me, the centre-halves can see all that. This is why striker's the most difficult position on the pitch because your back's...
Hold on.
It is though, because your back's to goal and the defenders can see everything you're looking at, but we can't see everything the defenders are looking at.
Hold on.
This is why
you could have a rubbish game. And he was a master of that rubbish game. And then gets a tap in.
Hang on.
And then he's the hero.
How many of my games have you watched?
Wow.
So how do you know a rubbish game?
No, I understand that aspect, but when I go back into midfield, the game's easier because you can see everything. Everything's there forward. So for someone like me, like I don't like to pass backwards. So like when you want to go forward as often as possible, you need to be on the half turn all the time, but sometimes you can't. You don't have the time to be on the half turn. So now you need to, know your surroundings, scanning all the time, know when to bounce, know when you can turn, and ultimately you need to be in the right areas to score and assist goals. So
does criticism from numpties like this? Because I used to get the same sort of stuff. Because there's a certain understanding that you need to have to play in forward positions, whether it's wide or, as you said, in the 9 position. But you're clearly a very thoughtful guy. We all know that. Many things that you've done, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. Have you always been like deeply thoughtful about not just the game, but life itself?
Yeah, it's just like attention to detail. So it doesn't even matter like what I'm doing. It's like if I'm invested in it, I need to try and do it to what I see as like the best way for me to do it. I think I've just been like that since a kid, since before I can remember, and it's just like, you know, my family always say like, oh, if they call me like a perfectionist, because like if someone challenges me to do something, I don't just want to do it in a way that everyone deems as like, oh, he's won and that's a good way to do it. Like if it's not right in the way that I've like planned it or thought about it, it's like I'll keep redoing stuff.
Do you know how good you are though?
I was going to ask that question.
Honestly, in terms of off the field, forget off the field for a moment. On the field, you don't understand. I don't think you understand how good you are.
I just think it's like, and I always have something to prove to myself. So it's
You hard on yourself?
Yeah, more like I'm more hard on myself than anyone can be harsh on me. So it's like, this is when you touched on like criticism before. I ignore a lot of people, but it's not like a defense mechanism. It's just like I have my own version or my own image of what I deem to be good. So like
when things are not going really well for you, and you've had a career that's kind of like everybody's career, with ups and downs, hard play stride, a tough season here, my last season here at Barcelona. Do you get down a bit? Is it, you find it difficult?
It's not necessarily like being upset. It's frustrating, but the be all and end all is if it leads to trophies, everything gets put aside. So like your individual career is nothing without this team version, and that's also a part of football that I love.
Do you think sometimes you get unfairly criticised because of who you are and what you've done, not necessarily on the pitch? But I always thought, because it was, you know, I'm a massive supporter of what you did. I mean, I think pretty much everyone is. It was incredible what you did. You shifted government policy and all that sort of stuff. It was remarkable. And always my fear was that the minute he has a bad spell, they'll blame that. Obviously, I'm saying this is because I feel it a little bit. But I think some of the times the criticism for you might go on a night out. You might go out in an outfit, a certain outfit, and that will be criticised. I don't think that would be criticised if that was a white player.
Like, I honestly think it's not because people don't want to highlight it. I just think people don't care anymore.
I just don't think you can change those people's opinions anyway. It's more about going forward and sort of changing the opinions of the youth, you know? I've suffered it when I was coming through, but nothing changes. People always say what they want to say.
You'll notice it's different here.
100%.
You will notice it's different here from the media. You will, and that's what I've said. In terms of the football, they'll be incredibly critical if you're not performing on the pitch. They won't bother about your life off the pitch. You know, they won't. They'll respect your life off the pitch. Even when you walk around, people will be respectful. And you get that in England as well, mostly. But I'm talking particularly in terms of the media. They will be very focused. In this city alone, in Barcelona, you've got 2 daily newspapers that only cover Barcelona Football Club, pretty much. El Mundo Deportivo and El Sport. Esport, they say. And they do everything. I remember when Terry Venables, it wasn't very well one day, and the front page headline, because I had to fill the newspaper every day, was Venables has diarrhea. Right? But we used to go out. And they won't, as long as you're performing on the pitch, and even then they won't blame it on something else, like that we perhaps do in our country a little bit too much. The media do. I don't think the general public. I think most general public have a massive amount of respect for football, but I think you really enjoy that here.
You know, the couple of times I've been for like meals and stuff, it's been nice. It's been refreshing.
What about England? There's obviously a World Cup coming up next summer. You're at Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, in one of the best teams at present in the world. You want to get back in the thick of it.
100%. This current like group of English players is extremely talented, and you know it's going to be disappointing if we don't manage to do something really special, because I think we've come on a lot, and for the last few years it's been just the next step is for us to go and win.
England have been very, very close. They're knocking on the door.
Yeah, we're right there, but you can see with a lot of the teams that are winning stuff currently, they've also had this period, but no matter how many times people say, oh, we were this close, that close, like the important thing's getting over the line. It's definitely an exciting period. Obviously, you know, there's a new coach there in Thomas.
How do you get on with him?
Yeah, he's a top coach, good guy. I think being an international coach is, you know, quite difficult, especially from someone who's used to, you know, spending lots of time with players. People don't understand how short of a time you have to prepare for these major competitions. It's only, you know, 5 camps in the year, 10 days apiece. So, you know, 40 odd days together to try and win a World Cup's not a lot. But he's a coach that pays huge attention to detail, and you know, you can see that. I've seen that straight away from the first couple of training sessions with him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what he'll bring to the team.
And being here, I suppose, you know, if you perform well at Barcelona, it puts you in a really good space.
Yeah, for sure. Like honestly, I try not to put too much pressure on like the England setup. It's clearly something that I want to do, but you don't get that without, you know, putting in the hard work, just day in, day out, and you know, showing that hard work on the pitch. So that's a knock-on effect to the stuff that I'll be doing day in, day out.
I think what's clouded a few people's visions is because you don't speak that much.
I'm honestly fine with people having their opinion on me regardless. You know, I'm doing the thing that I love to do every day. I don't want anything else. I think it was Usage that said something actually. Like, your discipline's more important than your motivation, because sometimes you wake up and you're not motivated. It's the discipline that keeps you in check to get yourself out of bed, go to training on time, and, you know, work when you don't necessarily want to work. You know, study the game, study your opponents when you might be tired, or you might have a headache, or you might be ill. But these are the things that people don't really, you know, pick up on. So it's
it's hard for them, for the general public, to understand what goes into
I don't
making a top class professional.
I don't expect the general public to understand that. Like, some of my friends that are in other sports, like, I'm a huge fan of like boxing. I don't have a clue what it takes to become a professional boxer. Like, I like to watch them train, watch them compete. But like, I can't start voicing my opinion out to the public on what I think this person needs to do because he lost his last fight. Like, who am I to? I don't know what it takes. I'm more like lenient towards the public having their opinion because they're not to know. Whereas like, when it's like ex-players that know the game, and like, then I get confused about it. Like,
why do you think that is though, ex-players?
I don't know.
Why do you think they are?
Like, I don't know. All I know is like...
Is he talking about Alan Shearer here?
That's why they get the invite.
No, for me, all I know is like, when I come to retire, I ain't going to be doing that. Like, it's as simple as that. I don't want to put players down. I want to, if anything, lift players, because ultimately they're going to play better on the pitch. So it's like, at the end of the day, we all love watching like exciting stuff on the pitch.
I think you'd make a really good pundit. No, I'm not joking. I mean, you talk very intelligently about the game, about the positions, about the different roles that you have to play as a forward. Yeah. You can go into it. I don't think I've upset too many players. And
you're a host.
That's why.
That's the question.
Maybe you'll be a host.
No, we'll see.
What about the managers that you've played for? I mean, it's also not that easy when they're turned over as regular as they've been at Manchester United in the past, because it's hard, isn't it? You suddenly change and then it's a different one. And then who've been the most influential on you?
Influential, I'd probably say Van Gaal.
Yeah.
Jose.
Very different.
Ollie. Yeah, they're different, but because of what you just mentioned, we've had so many different managers. It's so hard to like. It's impossible for me to compare the managers. But when you're a developing player, like at a young age, you learn stuff that no one's ever taught you that before. So like, up until Jose, I'd never had a manager that was so fixated on winning before Jose.
Van Gaal wasn't fixated.
He was fixated on winning, but he wanted to play a beautiful style of football. Jose don't care. Do you know what I mean? As long as you win. Of course, if he could choose, he'd want you to play well. But if you win, you win. You move on to the next game. And he had this attitude. And in the beginning, it was confusing for me, because all the way through my development at United, it was about playing a certain style of, like, winning a certain way. So in the beginning, I was angry all the time. Like, we've not played well today, we've won, but because we've won, and he's a manager that is just a winner. He doesn't bring up the points that was missing from that last game because we've won. But when we lose, he brings up the points then. But after like 6 months, I like just learned to like respect it, and then I started to reap the rewards from him as a coach.
I'm in awe of the way he's talking about different systems, because obviously I like the tactical side of the game as well.
Yeah.
But just like how he's created different things in his head for different managers and when, and he's talking about the movement. Because obviously at Barcelona, you're going to play a high line. So if you win the ball back within 3 seconds, you're pretty much on goal. Sometimes at United, and we don't need to speak about United, but just in terms of their style of play, at times they would be so deep. When you got the ball, you have to take on 3 or 4 players.
Yeah, but show me a successful team that just adapts. When Fergie was in charge, not only the principles for the first team, the whole academy set up so you could pick players from 15 years and over, that's a full generation, and they'd all understand the principles of playing the Man United way. So you see it with any team that's been successful over a period of time, they have principles that any coach that comes in, any player that comes in has to align to these principles or be able to add to these principles. Whereas like at times I feel like United have just been, we're hungry to win, so we'll always try to, to adapt and to sign players that fit this system. But like, it's reactionary. If your direction's always changing, you can't expect to be able to win the league. Yeah, you might win some cup tournaments, but it's because you do have a good coach and you do have good players and you have match winners in your team. You're not there by accident. Like, this is what some people forget. So yeah, we've been way below where we deem United to be. But then if you take like a step back, which I've been able to do, especially over like the last 6 months, what do you expect? People say we've been in a transition for years. To be in a transition, you have to start the transition. So it's like the actual transition's not started yet. So like when Liverpool went through this, they got Klopp, they stuck with him. They didn't win in the beginning.
True.
Do you know what I mean? People only remember his final few years when he was, competing with City and winning the biggest trophies.
Didn't win for 3
Didn't
years.
win in
He
the
had a
beginning.
really tough time.
So it's like, to start a transition, you have to make a plan and stick to it. So this is the thing that I think...
It's not easy to do though, is it? If you're
It's not easy to do.
Because if it's not going well, the fans demand,
100%. But this is where I speak about like being realistic with like what your situation is. I feel like we've had that many different managers and different ideas and different like strategies in order to win. You end up in the middle of like, you end up in no man's land. So,
does it hurt you?
Yeah, 100%. But not only as like a player, just as like I'm a United
as a fan. Yeah. Looking ahead now, you're here for a loan, obviously a loan spell, but would you, I presume you'd like to be successful here, win trophies, and stay here for a few years.
Yeah, for sure. What I deem as success is growth. So if you think about it, they're a team that's like, a few years before, they found themselves in a tricky spot, but they stuck to what their
roots.
Do you know what I mean? Their principles are, it might be a slightly different brand of Barcelona in terms of like there's so many young players in the same setup, but this is what it is. And they've found a way for that to be one of the driving forces of a really successful team. So if I can bring like my own attributes and skill sets into a winning setup, I honestly think it's going to be a really positive year. So
I have to say, it's lovely to have an Englishman playing at Barcelona.
no, it's not. It's been a lot.
Since you.
Yeah.
What year was it?
1923. It was 86 to 89. Just 36 years ago.
Why do you think it's been like so long though?
I don't know. There was one guy that played one game a few years ago. His name was also Marcus. You're not even the first Marcus to play for Barcelona. And he played just a few minutes of the Super Cup game when everyone was out injured and stuff. But I don't know why it is, because Real Madrid have had 7 Englishmen. Can you name them?
Owen.
David Beckham.
Owen, 2.
McManaman.
3.
Woodgate.
4.
Jude.
Beckham.
5.
Owen Beckham.
Yeah. Trent, 6. One more. The first one, I'll give you a clue, it's way back. What a footballer he was.
How long we're talking?
We're talking, I think 70s, late 70s, 80s, early 80s.
I've got no.
Oh, what was it?
He was one of 3 players at West Brom.
Yes. Oh, yes. Don't tell me. Oh, yeah.
Marcus's brother has chipped in from the back with Laurie Cunningham. He was there. I know what it's like. I've been waiting a long time for another English player to play,
Nice.
and I really hope you're incredibly successful. First game is Mallorca away.
Yeah, Mallorca.
Well, let's get to the interest. Can we get tickets now? Are we like mates now? You know, how's it work?
He's your man
We
over there.
can swap numbers and now we're like besties.
Yeah, well, can I give you one word of advice before you play away at Mallorca? Don't do what I did with Mark Hughes. We played Mallorca away in the second game. We'd won the first game, 2-0, scored both. And we went to play Mallorca away. It was 0-0, and Terry Venables was the manager of Barcelona then. And he said, you go out for a couple of drinks, be sensible. We weren't very sensible. And the bus was leaving for the airport. I think it was about 7 a.m. the next morning, and we could have stumbled onto the bus from the night out. And Terry Venables was sat on the front row, and he just went, for fuck's sake! Buy 2 players and you do that to me. So don't do that. We went to Magaluf. I mean, you do, don't you?
Oh, so he wasn't a good pro.
What?
You wasn't a good pro back then.
I was a good pro, except for that night. But generally, I was a good pro. But Mark Hughes is a very bad example for me. He led me astray. Oh, so I wish you all the very best.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good.
It will be, and thank you so much for your time. You're incredibly generous. Great to be here to see you, and
nice to
see you in
you.
such good spirits. Looking forward to watching you play in the Blaugrana.
Yeah.
15 goals I want.
Yeah.
15?
25? No, 15 goals. 15 goals and 10 assists. That's all I'm asking.
It's que el Barça. Marcus Rashford, segon pal Rafinha! Gol!
This is some view, isn't it? What are they doing in the stadium then? What is the...
It's just there's like an extra tier.
Oh, put another tier on there.
Yeah.
I haven't been yet. Have you been, have you?
Yeah.
All right, cheers, guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Nice to see you.
Appreciate your time.
Good to see you, bro.
Brilliant. Good
All
luck
the best,
to you.
yeah?
Wish you well.